Well, welcome to Big Bend National Park on somebody's birthday. Today is Alana's birthday. This is her birthday week trip, and we have just been overlanding, camping, and doing a road trip all the way here. So let me get you caught up.
Big Bend is a national park that you don't just happen to come across. It's one that you have to visit with intention. Jay initially thought this trip would be a fly-in for a long weekend, but with several hours of driving still in the mix, he later switched to plans to a week-long road trip that would begin on Friday after work with a stop at the Land Between the Lakes for a backcountry camping stay.
After our first night of camping, for not only this trip, but also the year, we had a full road day to our next destination of Malden Lake Campground in Maud, Texas. The campsites and lake view were amazing here, but unfortunately the weather was a little gloomy with regular threats of rain. We got up ahead of the sun to be on the road prior to a forecasted storm. It's interesting that we would spend more time driving in Texas than we did driving to get to Texas. This day's destination would be the Monahans Sandhills State Park for an experience that neither one of us were expecting.
It's like the Faroe Islands!
It was just 3 more hours to Big Bend, and we got right to exploring when we arrived with a hike to the Rio Grande Overlook. Then to the hot springs area to check them out and hike the loop trail there with a pit stop or two at the pull-offs to see what we could see.
While exploring, we were also scouting for possible sunrise, sunset, and Milky Way photo locations. It was with this intent that we turned onto Chisos Basin Road while heading out of the park and to our stay location. We didn't find a photo, but we did find a hike that we wanted to do later and thoroughly enjoyed the scenic drive and the late day's light.
Jay booked us in a small casita at the Willow House just outside the park for 3 nights. I loved its modern yet rustic styling, and the views over the park and Santa Elena Canyon were pretty spectacular as well.
right, well, hey, now you're caught up and then some. We are now at our first full day here at Big Bend National Park. We came in on what road, Alana?
Old Maverick Road.
Old Maverick Road. It was really washboarded, really bumpy. It was pretty and cool. Now we're getting ready to take on what hike?
The Santa Elena Canyon Trail.
The Santa Elena Canyon Trail, yeah.
Yes.
So that's this thing. That's this. If you've seen anything from Big Bend, I bet it was this. We're looking forward to it. Here we go.
After our morning hike, we stopped to check out the Dorgan Sublet Trail. This little stroll takes you by the ruins of historic farmhouses from the early to mid 1900s, then on to the Castellan Visitor Center. From there, we stopped at just about every pull-off before pausing for some lunch with a pretty amazing view.
With our bellies full, we backtracked just a bit to check out Tough Canyon, which was suggested to us by the park volunteer at the Visitor Center. It was a nice little walk with lots of geological interest. Unfortunately, our visit was at the worst possible light, which made it all tough to capture.
Continuing on our adventure and moving north on the Ross Maxwell Scenic Drive, we stopped at the Sotal Vista Overlook before checking out the Sam Nail Ranch.
By the time we were wrapping up here, the light was getting low and we wanted to get to bed early. We would be up and at it again by 1:30 a.m. for some Milky Way photography at a location you may recognize.
This ended up being one of the best night photography nights we've ever experienced. Honestly, the night was quite magical. We had over 5 hours of perfectly dark, clear skies and not another human light in sight in spite of our over 100-mile visibility.